You may think Delaware is all fine and great and awesome and all that, but did you know that there's 8 things you might actually hate about it? 8 things that people who move into Delaware don't realize they're getting themselves into and end up walking themselves into one of the 8 great mistakes. My name's Zachary Faust. We've helped hundreds of people move into Delaware, and I want to help you avoid the speed bumps along the way and maybe push you away from Delaware altogether. It may not be for you. The first mistake that people make is around land. It's a land lease. Now, let me be real. If you've ever looked at Zillow, Trulia, or the best home searching platform for Delaware, loftteamde.com, you'll find that there are these properties out there that seem too low in price, too good to be true even. And if we dig deep into that listing, what we're gonna find is it is indeed too good to be true. It's what's considered lot rent or lot lease. Now, you'll see this predominantly in properties that are down closer to the beaches in southern Delaware, and you'll find it with a property that looks beautiful. A little rancher, it's got like 1,600 square feet, 3 beds, and it's $180K. I want to buy 2. And many people are just like you, wanting to just go and get it right now before someone snags it. But wait, there's more, and it's not better. It's a land lease. And that land lease simply means that you own the home, but you do not own the dirt it sits on. You will consistently and constantly pay rent to keep your home there, meaning you're gonna have a mortgage and rent, which isn't fun. Number 2. And before getting into number 2, if you are trying to avoid land leases, want to see all the mistakes laid out that we're talking about, stay to the end. We have a guide that I want to put in your hands if you're serious about making the move to Delaware and not making mistakes along the way. Number 2 is health hospitals. Now, if you're moving to Delaware, you're probably of good health. Your heart probably works, your lungs are inflating, your brain works properly. But what happens when one of those things stop working and you need to go to the hospital? Well, Delaware, though we do have hospitals, isn't exactly known for its senior care. So I'll give you a quick number. So in Delaware, we have 1 primary care physician per 1,480 people. So for every 1,480 people in our state, we have 1 primary care physician. Now, this does fall right on the guideline number of 1 to 1,500. That's what they suggest. So as a whole for the state, we're solid. But if we break down the numbers by county, we're gonna see where southern Delaware might have some issues. Newcastle County, which is the northern side, this is Wilmington, Newcastle, Bear, nowhere close to a beach. The primary care physician to population ratio is 1 to 1,240. So actually way below, even better than the guideline 1 to 1,500. But if we go down to Sussex County, get into the beach area, it goes to 1 out of 2,162 residents. So for every 2,162 people living in Sussex County, Delaware, there's only 1 primary care physician that is available. And the other issue that goes with that is a lot of it is segmented into the senior care, hospice care, and long-term facilities in Delaware. This has been a long-standing debate, one of which that's now moving its way into the courtrooms, where we now have legislation suggesting a possible building moratorium. Stop all the building, no more homes until we get the hospitals right. That's what the argument is, and frankly, if we look at the numbers, the argument might be true. Main hospitals in southern Delaware are going to be in Lewis with BB, Milford with our Bay Health Center, and also Seaford. But if you want a map of all of these, again, stay to the end. I'll give you this guide, and that guide will have a map of all of the hospitals so you can know where you're located, and if you are close to one of the facilities that could keep you in your older years, your senior times, you're walking off into the sunset years, you want to make sure you're near someone that's going to be able to take care of you. Number 3 is highways. Highways, Zach. How's a highway a mistake? How could I go into a state and be like, whoa, didn't know these highways were here. What a big mistake by me. That's not exactly what I'm saying. What I'm saying is a lot of people move into Delaware and don't take into consideration that we are a fully drivable state, top to bottom, in about an hour and a half. Left to right, sometimes 30, 45 minutes. So your highway of closest proximity is going to determine a lot in terms of your commute times, time to school, or just time to get to the grocery store. So let's go over it. Your main north-south highways in Delaware are going to be Route Route 1 and Route 13. You'll hit Route 95 as you're north, but as you go south toward the beaches, you actually unlock a new highway, which is the combination of 1 and 13. It's 113. And these three highways are the main traversable highways up and down in Delaware. You also have 24 and 9 that run east to west. Now, these are areas that you're going to want to make note of, because if you have a job that's up north, up in Dover, you work at the Air Force Base, you're going to want to be close to Route 1. If you have a job, let's say in Harrington, but you live in Seaford, you're going to want to be close to Route 13. And of course, if you want to be close to the beaches, but not living near the beaches, being near one of these east to west highways to get you there in a jiffy, especially during the off season. On season, we'll have some traffic. We'll get into that. You're going to want to be close to one of these transit roads, because it's going to make your life in Delaware a lot easier. The fourth mistake is one I want to spend a little time on with you. This is probably, in my real estate career, the most controversial topic of them all. It's the beaches. Now, I'm going to subject this into two different categories: traffic and tourists. Because at our beaches, once you're there, you're like, wow, this is beautiful. The sand is nice. Pizza's great because you got some grottos. One of my faves. I don't care if you hate it. You should love it. It's great. Grottos is awesome. You get to go and hear the seagulls just clucking and laughing. I just recently found out they're called laughing gulls. I didn't even know that was their actual name. Regardless, I've set the scene beautifully, right? You're at the beach. It's awesome. And no joke, Delaware has some of the most underrated beaches on the entire East Coast. Florida, that's an old joke. We don't want to go there. New York, Manhattan Beach, way too expensive. And everything in the middle outside of Delaware, Virginia Beach, Myrtle Beach, all the way up, it's just like kitschy and touristy. It's not fun. It's not real. And Delaware, I feel you still get that real, fun beach experience without the inundation of tourists. But maybe that's changing. Since 1999, DelDOT has been tracking traffic patterns all across our state, specifically this overpass that brings you from Route 1 to Ocean Highway. Now, a lot of Delawareans would say traffic's getting worse, the bottleneck's getting more bodily, and we have more tourists coming to our state than ever before in like these last 3-4 years. But do the stats back that, is what I wanted to know. Since 1999 up into about 2019, anywhere between 45,000 and 65,000 vehicles per day pass through that Route 1 overpass onto Ocean Highway, with about 5 million people through the on-season visiting our beaches. But as of 2021, the year we have the data most recent, we still don't have 2023, 4, or nevertheless 5, not a finished year, we can see that the numbers are starting to increase. From a number that floated between 45 and 65,000, now in 2021 skyrocketed to 86,969 vehicles on average per day traveling Route 1 down to the beach. That is over 10 million vehicles that will pass over that overpass into the beaches. And that is a larger number than we've seen in the past. So yes, we are seeing an increase in traffic, and a lot of that is due to tourists. Now, the locals hate it, but we have this catch-22 in southern Delaware where our economy thrives, especially during the on-season, the hot times, because we have people here eating, drinking, being merry. They're going out and doing events. They're having a good time. And a lot of people, especially in a world where everything is more expensive, we don't have to sit here and argue everything is more expensive, right? People are choosing more budget-friendly options for their family fun. Parks, great option. Go out and have a walk. It's a great option. Go out to the beach. Great option. And because Delaware has some of the most underrated beaches, not just on the East Coast, but throughout the entire country, people from New York, New Jersey, all the way up the East Coast, and from Maryland, even coming up from Virginia, love the Delaware beaches. So a mistake that's commonly made by somebody moving into Delaware is they expect to have all of the fun of the beaches and the restaurants and the events and everything that comes with it without having to share it a little bit. And though that share is increasing year over year statistically, and many local Delawareans would say, hey, stop coming to our state, there's nothing we can really do to curtail that, and the side benefit of it is a humongous boost to our local economy. Fifth biggest mistake, I had a conversation with a client yesterday. He is moving down from Philadelphia, and he had a really important question for me. It was not financial, had nothing to do with the mortgage or the location he was picking. He simply wanted to know, What sports teams do you guys follow? You don't have any sports teams. And though we have a NASCAR track, that being our lone professional sport available in Delaware, he's right. We have a couple minor league baseball teams, and that's really gonna be the length of our sports resume in Delaware. A lot of people end up being Philadelphia fans, the Phillies, the Flyers, the Union, the Eagles, or Baltimore, DC fans, the Nationals, the Wizards, the Ravens, the Orioles. That's typically where people gonna get to, but Delaware has a bonus on the sports side where our high school sports are fantastic. We have a couple fantastic colleges in DSU and UD who have made it to the March Madness tournament, so we're not completely barren of sports. But if you're a big sports head, love to tailgate, want your season tickets for your local team, I hope you like high school football because that's the main thing we got. Airports. What's that? What's that? Is that a plane? Not in Delaware because we don't have an airport. Huh? Well, we kind of do. We have a part-time airport that has this airline called Velo Airline that flies out of Newcastle, Delaware, part-time. And what I mean by part-time is if you were to go to Orlando, like let's pull up their site. If you were to go to Orlando, you'll see that there's only a few days that you can leave out of Delaware to get to Orlando. And then to get back from Orlando, you as well have to pick a specific day that may lead you to having an inconveniently timed trip, difficult sometimes to get a weekend trip to one of these locations. And when I say one of these locations, I mean it. There's only about 30, 40 different locations that are traveled to regularly. And though Velo gets a pretty decent review, it's the Spirit airline model. It's going to be that model of if you're just going with a backpack, it's pretty cheap. But if you start bringing luggage and getting water on the plane, it's going to get expensive. And that leaves many people going to Philly, DC, and Baltimore when they need the flight. And also I mispronounced that. It's Avelo. My apologies.
Avelo Airlines.
Avelo. Don't sue me. Number 7, a great mistake that is made by those looking to move into Delaware is they don't watch our zones video. Seriously, habitat is our mistake. They don't come into Delaware understanding we have a lot of little microcultures that exist in Delaware. Living in Wilmington or Newcastle or Delaware City is a completely different lifestyle than living in Magnolia, Camden, or Felton. Same to be said of being at the beaches. Same to be said of being in the Seaford area, Laurel area. So what we did is created this video called the Zones video. It's how to retire to Delaware. And we walked through 5 zones on a whiteboard to show you, here's how people in Delaware view Delaware. This is how a Delawarean views this area. And if you want to know what a Delawarean's opinion on where you should move to in Delaware, highly suggest this video. It's a solid one. But Delaware overall is just cliquey. So when you move into, for example, like a Felton, you're gonna have people that wanna do Felton things. When we moved into Milford and we started a business in Milford, I had Milford business owners saying, you gotta use only Milford business owners for your business things, or else you're not a true Milfordian. And I think that's a bit much. But Delaware is cliquey, and so it's good to know that ahead of time. And number 8, the great last mistake that people make when making their move to the first state is to buy or to build. This is where I will plug our builder's guide, the guide I promised you at the beginning of this video, so that you can look over 140 pages at different neighborhoods that are actively building to know which neighborhoods are actively being built, the reviews on the builders and the neighborhood themselves, the location, things to do in those areas, costs, everything you'll need to know to make a proper decision around whether to buy or build. This is a humongous decision to be made, and Delaware is not alone in this debate. Everywhere around the country, people are always saying, should I build a home or buy one that already exists? Let me give you my unfiltered opinion. If you are moving in with a budget that is less than $600,000 to Southern Delaware, I'm gonna move you toward avoiding building. Why? It's gonna be a more expensive process than you'd like. Most of the base prices we see on Zillow, online, they're just the base model. They're not gonna get you everything that's in the pictures. All of the amenities not gonna be involved. Once you sit down with the salesperson, that's when they'll start giving out the real price point. And a lot of times it is gonna be north of that 600K range. So if you're under that range, I would immediately push you toward resale. If you are already on the side of resale, the only side on the building side I would have you consider is this thing called a quick delivery. Now, this is being seen more and more in Delaware as new construction inventory is beginning to pile up a bit more in the last 3.5 months. where a builder builds a home, sometimes for a buyer that just backs out, other times they're just building it to sell, and the home will be ready to go, never been lived in, complete new construction, but it's available now and normally priced a lot more attractively, we'll say. But on the other side, if you do have the budget for it, if you have the timeline for it, because again, you're looking at probably 6 to 12 months realistically for a build, then build. I would look at Green Diamond. I would look at Shell Brothers. I would even potentially walk into a neighborhood community model home for a K. Hovnanian or a DR Horton. These are more budget builder options. But if you go into Delaware thinking, oh, this is the discount bin, I'm gonna get a cheap home, I just got some news for you, especially if you're going new construction. Plan on $600K and above to get that home that you actually want in the budget that you have. Also, biggest thing with new construction too, is we have a lot of wetlands, and those wetlands are gonna prevent you from doing all the building that maybe you want. So it's very important to look at like these Kent County and Sussex County flood maps to know what's in a wetlands area, what's buildable, what's not. And those are our 8 biggest mistakes that our clients have made in the past that we want our clients to not make moving forward into the future in buying and selling Delaware. Again, I've been in real estate for 9 years, selling to great people just like you, moving across the state line in the southern Delaware. I want to put this guide into your hands. It is 140 pages of absolute real-time data. It is gold if you are looking to relocate into Delaware. And if you have any questions yourself after watching this video about when to make the move, how to make the move, details about an area, here's my number. Shoot me a text saying, Zach, saw your mistakes video, have a couple questions to ask, and I would love to get back with you. For all those looking to move to Delaware here soon, make sure to hit subscribe so you can get more in-tune Southern Delaware content. Talk to you then.